Look at our layers, F7 on our keyboard. I've got mine turned off. I'm going to turn it back on. This is what we're going to create. And then afterwards, we'll create a business card around it. And I'll teach you a few little design tricks when it comes to designing business cards and whatnot. I'm going to turn this off on my layers palette. So if you've got your layer 1, I'm just going to delete that. Turn your layer 1 eye off so you can't see it and lock it. And we're going to start from scratch. So I'm going to create a new layer by clicking on my new layer icon at the bottom of my layers palette. By double clicking on layer 2 right there on the name, I can name it. I'm going to call this global. I'm going to hit M on my keyboard for my rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to just draw my rectangle like so with my mouse. And now let's go to my color palette. We have all our palettes right here, as we know. Fill it with a light blue. You can grab one from here if you want, just with your eyedropper. And now I'm going to use my Command Option Shift keys. I'm going to hold them down together, Command. I click, usually whenever I do this, and this is the magic fingers exercise that we did previously, hold the Command key down first. Click on the center of your object, then add Option and Shift, or Alt Shift. And remember, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, the substitute on a PC for Command is Control. So you're going to hold Command first with the index finger. Click on your mouse and hold. Then hit Option and then hit Shift. And then drag down slightly, just like that. To step and repeat in Adobe Illustrator, the key command is Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D. I'm just going to keep going like that. I'm going to select this whole thing, hold my Command key down, draw a box around it, and now what I'm going to do is go to my Scale tool, which is right here, and I'm going to choose Shear. And I'm just going to drag sideways like this and shear it. Hit M on your keyboard for the rectangular marquee tool. Let's drag a rectangle like so. I want to get, yeah, that looks about right. Fill it with none, stroke it with none. Make sure it's in the front. To move something to the front, Command, Shift, right square bracket. Those are the two square brackets beside the P. Hold my Command key down, select this whole entire object. And now I will mask it by going Command 7. Command 7. Let's go to my Windows palette, scroll down to Symbols. And we're going to create a symbol out of this. As you can see, I did it already, but I'm going to use this one because I like this one better. I just drag it in. We'll call this Global Securities. Good enough. Cool. I can delete that now. Let's hit L on our keyboard for our ellipse tool. I'm going to hold my Shift key down while I draw a circle to constrain my proportions. And you get a nice circle like that. Let's go to our color palette here. Let's fill with that blue. I'm going to hit C on my keyboard for the scissor tool. C on my keyboard. Command spacebar to zoom in and then draw a box. Click on the top center, click on the bottom center. Command click here to select, and this is where the magic happens. Let's go up to our Effect, pull down menu, choose 3D, Revolve. Move that out of the way so we can see what's going on. Let's preview. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Now, we're going to stay in here, and we're going to choose, let's choose Map Art. This is fun. On our symbol pull-down menu, we're going to scroll down to our Global Securities symbol that we created. Scale to fit. Now, if you wish, you are welcome to scale this manually as well, right? You can just go to town on it. Shade artwork, absolutely. And then over here, invisible geometry, yep, click on it. And then click OK. And we get a nice, and again, if you want to play with this scaling a little bit, you're more than welcome to do so. You can even rotate it slightly if you want. And you can see how it affects it. It's pretty neat. Okay, so there we go. Now, if you wanted to say crop it, you could draw something that I would do is I draw a circle around it, L on my keyboard for the ellipse. Stroke and fill with none. Select, Command 7 to mask. Do something along those lines. We get our 3D effect. Now in the next part 2 of the lesson, which we will continue on with in a moment, we're going to create our type logo, so the actual type, and we'll do a little business card. So that's in the following video.